One of the biggest reasons people struggle with eating clean is because everybody makes it seem so boring, bland, and expensive. No one wants to have rice and chicken for dinner every night. So what do you do when you want to start clean eating and still enjoy your food? Because right now it seems like you can't have both. When I started my clean eating journey, the options I had left were quite limited. At least that's how I felt. At this point, many people get into a really bad relationship with food because eating just seems like a chore. That's why I decided to take a step back, do some real research, and made it my mission to find out how to start eating clean without feeling like I deserve a medal for surviving each meal. That's when I cracked the code to eating clean. Let me tell you, finding everything out was overwhelming. But that's exactly why I broke everything I found out down and put it in this cute little video. And let me tell you, it's not just about eating habits. I found most success by implementing a few things that made it 10 times easier for me to eat clean long term. But before we get into that, I have to tell you all something. A few months ago, I wouldn't have even dared to dream that this channel would reach this point. And now here I am. One of those people thanking their community for 100,000 subscribers? This feels unreal, and I'm beyond grateful for every single one of you. Your support, your positive comments, and your engagement push me and the team every day to improve and create even better content. I love reading your comments and seeing how kind, supportive, and engaged this community is makes me so proud. This milestone isn't just mine, it's ours, and I can't wait to create even more content for you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to this amazing community and to everyone on my team who helps make this possible. Okay, now let's move on with the video. Clean eating actually isn't hard, but the thing is, there's just too much stuff online about it. And to be completely honest, I often get dizzy at just the thought of what half of these people call food. During my research, I even saw someone call a single shot of olive oil breakfast. Girl, that is not food. Many people online just tell you to starve yourself. That's really not what clean eating is about. It's about giving your body way more of what it needs and less of what it doesn't. And the first step is understanding what those needs are. Our body has 5 primary needs. First, carbs. Carbs are your body's primary source of energy. They basically act as the fuel you use to stay up and running all day long. So no, carbs are not evil like eating disorder internet makes it seem. You actually really need them. Then there's protein. Your muscles, skin, hair, and even your organs are all composed of different types of proteins, which help with growth, repair, and overall function. Without enough protein, your body struggles to maintain and rebuild itself efficiently. Then there are fats. Your body relies on healthy fats for energy storage, nutrient absorption, and hormone production. They also play an important role in maintaining cell membranes, keeping your skin hydrated, and supporting healthy hair growth. Next up, micronutrients. These are needed in much smaller amounts, but they're super important for your health. Those are vitamins like vitamin A, C, and K, and minerals like iron, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. Vitamins help with eyesight, metabolism, and muscle repair, while minerals make up the more solid parts of your body, like your teeth and bones. Lastly, water. Don't forget your body is about 60% water, and believe it or not, hydration is a big part of clean eating. Luckily, you don't have to memorize all those details because if you're eating balanced meals every day, you'll naturally get the right amount of everything your body needs. So, as we just learned, your plate needs to have some kind of carbs. It could be from bread, rice, quinoa, or potatoes. Then you'll need some protein from chicken, seafood, lentils, or oats. And then fats from oils, nuts, or avocado, and fiber from vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. The next thing you need to understand is your calorie requirement. Eating clean also involves giving your body all the calories it actually needs without going overboard. So when you're overeating or undereating, you're not eating clean anymore. There are 1,000 different calorie calculators out there to estimate your personal calorie needs. But once you start clean eating, you don't really need to count calories or follow some super strict diet to give your body what it needs. A medium-sized bowl of food is usually about 500 to 800 calories. So 3 meals like that would add up to around 1,500 to 2,400 calories. As long as you're eating in moderation and balancing your meals with a mix of carbs, proteins, and fats, you'll stay within a healthy range without stressing over exact numbers. Knowing the basics of clean eating is great, but the real challenge is making it work in your daily meals. I know a lot of people don't exactly love vegetables or grains, but when you force yourself to eat meals you don't like because they're considered healthy, it just makes junk food seem like a drug you cannot resist for a long time. And when eventually relapsing, a lot of people just end up binge eating. This is why most of those restrictive diets never work. It's super important to start your transition slowly by switching to healthy alternatives that are still tasty to you. Most people are used to eating 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Following this routine is a great way to maintain a healthy diet. Try to eat 3 healthy meals each day and maybe 2 snacks in between. Let me introduce you to the PAT system to figure out whether what you're about to eat is healthy or not. P stands for processed, A stands for artificial, and T stands for too much. P-A-T. Processed foods aren't always horrible. There's a reason why people say processed carbs and trans fats are unhealthy. Processed carbs are usually refined, which means they've lost a lot of their fiber and nutrients. They often have added sugars and can lead to a quick jump in your blood sugar compared to whole natural carbs. Trans fats from fried foods and some canned foods fill up your body with bad cholesterol much quicker, which makes you gain so much more weight than you would with the same amount of actual healthy food. And it's also horrible for your heart health. I'm not saying you should ditch desserts altogether, but if you want to start eating clean, it's a good idea to keep an eye on how often and how much you enjoy them. Back to the A in the PAT rule. Artificials. These are foods loaded with chemicals and food dyes. They make your food look good, but don't do much for your body. Like pink rice? Anything but natural. It's probably best not to eat that. A simple way to spot artificial foods is to watch out for super bright, unnatural colors or anything that tastes weirdly chemical or plasticky, like some sodas. Then we've got T for too much, which is all about portion control. You can still have your cookie every now and then, as long as you're not pulling up to crumble every single day. But you have to apply this to your healthy foods too. Even if you're eating the greenest salads in the world, if it's way too much, then that's still not clean eating. On top of that, try to avoid foods that are overloaded with salt, sugar, or maybe contain too much alcohol. When you're choosing what proteins, carbs, and fats to fill your plate with each day, always go for the least processed, most natural option with the right portion. The PAT rule makes it way easier to tell what's actually healthy and what's not. It works no matter where you are or what ingredients you have access to. That way you can use it to pick the best options without overcomplicating things. That's why finding healthy swaps for processed foods is key. That way you can keep a lot of meals in your diet and not necessarily have to cut off anything completely while developing a long-term habit. Let's be real. No one's just gonna go from eating burgers to only eating salads overnight. If you're a big fan of French fries, you could opt for the air-fried option rather than the deep-fried version. For packaged potato chips or processed snacks like hot Cheetos, homemade sweet potato chips are a great switch. They still have lots of flavor and are packed with nutrients. For ice cream, try frozen yogurt or frozen fruit bowls every now and then. They're smoother than sorbets and actually have that same creamy texture as ice cream. For pizza, Go for a thin crust with flat dough and load up on veggies instead of processed meats like pepperoni. If you're into fast food, try places that offer healthier options like brown rice, lentils, soups, and other dishes that are just as satisfying without all the grease from burgers and fries. And if you can't live without soda, swap it out for juice. Juice is basically liquid fruit, while soda is just liquid sugar. Pretty obvious which one's better for your body, right? Clean eating isn't just about eating strictly or cutting out every single form of processed food. The goal is to ensure that you're getting more of the healthy foods and less of the unhealthy ones. But as important as eating is, the real culprit that's actually stopping you from eating clean is consistency and maintaining this lifestyle long term. I get it. We can't always make all our meals from scratch, but there are tons of ways you can make things way easier. I know you've probably heard all about meal prepping and planning, but let's be real. Eating the same thing every day can get boring pretty quickly, and I get why that's a struggle for a lot of people. Planning meals can be tricky too because eating is pretty spontaneous, and you often don't know what you're having for dinner until the moment it hits. That's why I looked into that too. Planning for one day is way easier than planning for a whole week. You can still keep it flexible. For example, you could just plan for Chinese food without picking a specific dish. Your daily plan can be as detailed or as laid back as you want, whatever works best for you. And instead of prepping entire meals, you could just get the basics ready, like chopping your veggies and marinating your protein. So instead of making 5 chicken and rice bowls, just marinate your chicken in a Ziploc bag, pop it into the freezer, and you're good to go. That way, all you have to do is grab it and toss it straight into the air fryer, a pan, or even the oven. You can even pre-boil up your grains like rice, quinoa, or lentils and store them in the fridge. Then you can throw them into whatever recipe you're feeling. Eating clean is definitely a commitment, but your body will totally thank you for it. Eating clean is a solid start, but if you want to get that hourglass look, no matter your figure right now, check out this video.